Welcome back, everybody, to the Speak Anime Podcast. Today, we're going to be reviewing episode number 9 of Magia Record. I'm JordanTheCow, by the way, and I'm joined by JasonTheTrvth.
Yay.
And RisingSunReviews.
Praise Makoto.
Praise Makoto is right, my friend. So let's hop right into this one. This episode, in my opinion, I know all three of us kind of shat on the last episode, which is fair because the last episode sucked. But this episode, at least in my opinion, was significantly better. Now I'm biased because it had some high action like fight scenes finally that lasted for longer than a minute and a half and like were actually useful.
Yeah, I kind of liked it, but I also feel like I like the last episode less now because it did not feel like this was going somewhere I hoped it would go.
That's true. Yeah, I felt these last two episodes kind of both felt like they weren't super needed for like the whole rest of the story. I guess if Futaba becomes someone like super relevant, then it's good. But for now, it doesn't really look like that's gonna happen. But anyway, so this episode started off a little bit strange, typical of Shaft / Magia Record stuff, Madoka stuff. You know the drill.
Yeah, like they have like weird animation. It's kind of difficult to see exactly where the story is going until it gets there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they started off like them talking about the rumor of the endless solitude thing and all that.
Yeah, the two girls sitting around the table, or I guess they were kind of like gossiping to each other. Looked like it was around a table in hallways, etc.
Yeah, I think they were at a restaurant.
Like that weird. Yeah. Yeah, they were changing settings from what I could tell. It was like in the hallways, and there was some at the table, then there was some in like the same restaurant that all the girls were at, like later on, like in earlier episodes, at like that one circle table.
Yeah, we're talking about different scenes. Yeah, I was talking about the magical girls when they were talking in like.
Oh no! I was talking about like the 2D like paper like puppet looking girls at the very very start.
Like the rumor
pre-intro. Yeah, pre-intro. So they were talking about the rumor. They were re-explaining it. Which is good because episode 8 wasn't that great, and I've slept since then. I didn't remember a whole lot. I mean, I remember that we were trying to get to the radio tower thing and fight that rumor through Uwasa bear, whatever it was. I don't know. Osawa. Yeah, Osawa. Fight that thing around the radio tower. But other than that, I was like, dude, it's been a hot minute since we've seen this show. So.
And we had bad memories.
Yeah, I think regardless though, it was a good episode. It was weirdly set up, but it's fine.
Yeah. It feels like it would fit well in like an anthology about different magical girls in the universe.
Yeah.
I thought if it were a single standoff episode, or like just showcasing like random different magical girls, just like
it would have been
how
fun.
They came to be and stuff. I thought it was really interesting, but as a part of the entire series, I didn't really care for it too much. But as like a standalone episode, I could see myself I can get.
Yeah, and
I think if they combined episode 8 and 9 together and put them into one episode, it would have been a lot stronger. I think we said that for the last few episodes, though, that if they just combined aspects of certain episodes with each other, then it overall make for more concise episodes. It would definitely feel like these last two episodes have both felt like basically a filler arc, which isn't great with how few episodes there are already in a show.
Yeah, you don't want it to feel like filler when you only have 12 episodes.
Exactly, yeah. So that's kind of like the big issue. But go ahead and say your thing, Greg. You go for it.
Yeah, I kind of forget what I was going to say. But I think it also would have worked better if we knew this girl before this episode, if we kind of got to know her and this was her fleshing out so we understood her more, as opposed to all this backstory being what's trying to get us into her when we don't really know her to begin with.
Yeah, a really good character they could have done this with, and it would have made sense. Is it was Runa, right? Was the other chick who was becoming the witch, and she like cut off everybody.
Right.
I think they could have made her. They could have made her like the Invisible Girl because she was cutting off all of her friends. obviously the best, like the answer choice that was super obvious to do was just make Ui the invisible girl, but then what are you gonna do for the last 3 episodes after you find Ui, right?
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they didn't do that. But I think Rena would have been a better character to do this for than try to invent a whole new character.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is based off a mobile game though, where this character, exists. So they have to put at least some light on the characters from the mobile game for it to do its job as a mobile game side story.
Yeah, so that might, but yeah, I think having Rena be that would like tide us back into the character, as opposed to having like a lot of somewhat interesting characters, but you just feel like put to the side and then they focus on another new character instead of developing the ones they already have.
Yeah.
I also think if we, again, I pretty much say this all the time, but if we played the mobile game, we'd probably be more into it.
Yep.
We'd have kind of more of the backstory with it.
Yeah, I can see it. I think that's like with Bang Dream, I played the game enough so when I do go to see the anime, I already understand who the characters are, so it's not as if they're just like really weak characters because I don't see much with them.
Yeah. Bang Dream podcast coming soon, by the way.
That's probably going to happen.
Eventually. We'll get it eventually.
Once Jason,
eventually, it'll maybe happen. Probably, perhaps.
Once Jason like drags me and Jordan and forces us to watch the show.
See, I think what would be really funny is if our friend who might be coming down and we may all be hanging out again, if we took a little bit, hung out at my house, and we did like a parody video where you 3 try to convince me to watch this show. Because Greg's seen, if I'm not wrong, Greg, you've seen at least some of it, right?
I've seen all of season 2 and like an episode of season 1.
Okay. And then Jason's seen all of it, and our friend has seen probably all of it. I'm sure he's seen it all.
Yeah.
He's probably seen it all 3 times.
Yeah, since he's so into the mobile game, that I think that'd be cool. But anywho, that's off topic. Let's get back onto the topic. Episode number 9 of Magia Record. Rena would have been a lot stronger of a character to do this for. Obviously, if we played the game, we'd probably care more about these characters that I feel like we're obviously supposed to care about Futaba, and I feel like a lot of people who play the games will.
I think she's like a main character.
Yeah, she definitely has like a pull to where I'm like, I want to care for her, but I just don't know enough, and it's everything I'm supposed to know is being shoved at me in 7 minutes. Like, that's not enough time to develop a character.
Yeah, she was actually in the opening. I mentioned it last week how I noticed a character in the opening with the shield. So I was like, is that a new character? Have we not seen her? Right. And then she showed up with the shield this episode. I'm like, oh, that's her. Okay.
Yep. I think it was smart. Like, Rena would have been a smarter, safer choice. I get they have to introduce this character somehow. I don't think that the amount of time they allotted to introducing this character and like all of her backstory and dumping everything on you was enough. I wish they did more of her backstory stuff in episode 7. That way we had, a week, or not episode 7, I'm sorry, episode 8. That way we had a week to kind of gather care for this character instead of just being like, here's 5 minutes of why you should care about this character, go. Because I'm going to go ahead and cite a show that I've been obsessed with lately. I've watched Avatar 5 times in the last month and a half or so. That's not a joke. Avatar The Last Airbender, I've seen it all the way through 5 times in the last month and a half. I know I'm stupid, I'm crazy.
So, Avatar podcast win?
Exactly. So that's what I'm asking. So the interesting thing, right? In episode 1, 7 minutes into the series, you get a good... it takes 7 minutes to introduce Sokka, Katara, Aang, Iroh, and Zuko, like the 5 main cast, and you get a sense of their personality, if they're good or if they're the good guys, the bad guys, etc. Right? This show is like, we're gonna take, I feel like it wasn't even 7 minutes. It must have been like 3 or 4 minutes for backstory for this one character.
I think it was closer to 7.
Yeah, and they're like, but we really want you to care. We really want you to care about her. I'm like, no, There's no way. There's not. You gave me a lot of backstory with no time to ingest it.
Yeah, and going back to the Avatar example, that's really good because you don't know everything about these characters. You just get a general feel, okay, kind of get what they're about. But then throughout the series, you learn a ton more about Zuko, Iroh, and all the other characters, like what has made them who they are. And because of that, you care about them so much. You remember them. Well, it's like this character's like, oh, that's a character. A week later, we'll probably forget all about her.
Yeah, I mean, when before we started the episode, and before Jason even joined the call that we're in right now on Discord, I was asking Greg, I was like, how did we know that her name was Futaba? I'm like, because that sounded really familiar, but last episode wasn't like gripping enough for me to remember how we knew Futaba, which isn't great. It's not a good sign if you're trying to introduce a main character in 2 episodes, and your viewers aren't even sure why the cast knows her name. Yeah, that probably means you missed the mark at least a little bit.
And I actually forgot her name until you said it again, so thank you.
Yeah, Futaba, Sana, something.
Okay, we'll go Futaba.
Sana. So, Futaba.
Sana, yeah, okay. Something I did find interesting about this episode, or probably the most interesting part, was the Uwasa. Like, it was an AI, it has sentience, and I was like caring about Futaba and Tamaki.
This is easily the coolest witch that we've ever seen in Madoka, like as a series, in my opinion. But I'm also biased because I like video games and computers and shit, obviously. Aside from the big bad one at the very Valpurgis Noct or whatever, I just remember that name. Holy, okay, I haven't seen that show in like 3 years. I think the only cooler witches were like Valpurgis Noct from Madoka, the original series, and then arguably you could say Bebe/Charlotte from the original Madoka series as well. But this has by far been like the most well done labyrinth and like the coolest Uwasa for me so far.
Yeah, and I think the only time we've seen a witch or an Uwasa like actually have a personality and interact with the characters. Yep. Because like the Bebe is like she went back to her magical girl form before actually interacted. While Purgus had very cool and foreboding, but like no humanity to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely raises more questions about like what are the Uwasa? Are they all artificial beings? Is this just like an exception? They programmed this one and that's why it's different. But it feels like they might just all be like artificial witches that the Wings of Magia has created to like do whatever it is that they're doing.
That's crazy. Okay, yeah. I haven't even like begun to think about that, but I could definitely see that happen.
Yeah, or maybe they were created to be artificial witches, which is why they're like witches, but not quite the same.
Okay, that could definitely, and also because it's just like word of mouth and rumor spreading, it's so easy to spread a rumor, right. Especially when you're like high school/middle school age. Like rumors spread around school so fast. Okay, I mean, or if these kids are realistic, like a rumor could spread throughout the school in less than a day.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising that like rumors are popping up as like evil things now. I think that's really cool take on them.
Yeah, that too, and just like. Definitely with Futaba and like how she's like wanting to be alone so much, so she latches onto this rumor as a way she can get that.
For sure.
Something else. Sorry, go ahead, Jason.
Oh, I was gonna just say I agree with y'all. I thought the Uwasa was really cool. I just love AI characters in general.
Yeah.
I think it's just super interesting to have essentially something that doesn't have a personality really form a relationship with another character.
Yeah.
And I think like that their whole relationship was really cool to see, and just like the world changing, and just like with the activities that they did throughout was interesting and cool to see.
Just what you said about the activities, like all the scenes that when they were together were artistically amazing. I know we talked about how good the show looks, but this might be the best looking episode with the backgrounds.
This was my favorite location.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%, yeah. I liked how she was like glitching out into like the old CRT screens where like just the like the loss of signal, just like static, and then also it'd go to like the multicolored stripes up and down. I thought that was really cool touch. Shaft always kills it, but like this labyrinth in specific, holy. Okay,
I think
you got me. I'm watching your show now. I'm looking at it.
I think from visual storytelling, they are the best studio out there. After seeing this and a couple of their other shows.
Yeah, I mean, this staff is just incredible. Like, shout out to the artists and the animators and the whole like artistic department who's working on this right now. Yeah. They are absolutely killing it. You can argue the story or whatever all you want, dude. visually the show is phenomenal, just like it's just like the main story the predecessor was. But
Yeah, I've had like 100 images I can make computer wallpapers, and they would like fit perfectly for that.
absolutely.
Like I try finding like a good picture for a thumbnail, and the problem isn't that I can't find a good one. It's like I find too many. I can't choose one.
Mm-hmm. That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, so very impressive there.
I definitely thought. I think I've said this already, but this episode was better than episode 8 just because it finally had like an actual battle scene that like was meaningful and lasted at least some time.
So I wanted to ask y'all about the fight scene. What did y'all think of it?
I don't think it's the best one we've seen in the series. I think the labyrinth was really cool, and I thought the cool, but the fight scene itself, dude, it's hard for me to not like the fight where Mommy. Okay, I'm biased. I'm biased as hell. I know it, but like, I like me some Mommy and then the fight scene with Kyoko. I like that too. I like my original Madoka Magical Girls. Waiting for Homura, but
yeah, I thought it looked cool, but it was hard for me to follow what was going on.
Exactly, Greg. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah,
there was a lot happening.
Yeah, like I rewatched it and then it made more sense. It's like, okay, she like attacked the computer girl and now Tamaki's trying to dodge, and it made a lot more sense on the second watch.
Yeah, the girl shows up and yeah, no, I mean the girl from the Wings of Magia shows up and she like starts battling the Wassa. The Wassa's like, oh, I reprogrammed her. Now she's outside of the labyrinth. But the weird thing about that is, okay, I get that you could reprogram them like to be inside your labyrinth, because like you can, I guess I could make the argument that it has control over its labyrinth in entirety. It's an AI. It makes sense that like its thing is based around like its programming and all that stuff. But to teleport it outside the labyrinth doesn't make any sense to me.
I have a theory on that. What if it's actually not outside the labyrinth, but the whole city is a labyrinth?
That could be true. That could be interesting.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too, just Kamihama as a whole.
Yeah, because there's so many weird things.
And Magi's things just going on.
Yeah, there's so many weird things going on that it feels like they might be like ripping too much from Rebellion if they do that. But I could definitely see like they're somehow doing something with the whole city that's making it not obey the normal rules, and maybe the Uasa being able to teleport someone around is one of the rules.
That's true too, because now that I think about it, I mean, it would make sense for the whole city to be under either one labyrinth or to be as one labyrinth, or to be like a labyrinth of labyrinths, if you will, where just no matter where you walk, you're in one, but like you can move between the two. Because we're seeing these girls who we believe to at least have some experience. Obviously, like Yachio is very experienced. We saw Mami and Kyoko come back; they're experienced magical girls. There's characters that have more and less experience, right? We're seeing these magical girls that have experience dealing with witches and labyrinths, and we're led to believe that they've dealt with Uasa for a little bit too, because it's not like a brand new thing popping up. But they're just walking into a labyrinth, and it takes them like minutes to realize, oh, I'm in a labyrinth, or something they just don't notice, and you're like, how does it happen?
There is someone who explained it that because they're like used to fighting witches, they can detect them, but because the Uasa are not witches, then their magic doesn't work to detect it. But I agree, there's definitely something weird about that. Especially once they know, like, okay, confining Uasa, I might not know I'm in a labyrinth, they'd be more on edge when they see weird stuff happening. Or they could be pulling that this is all a dream, that's why everything's weird.
Oh my gosh, I better not pull this is all the dream.
Yeah, I hope they don't.
I better not pull English 7th grade paper needs a conclusion, gotta go fast. Looking ass thing.
Yeah, I could see them maybe making that work, but I also don't trust the show to be that good with its storytelling. Yeah, there's a show I had watched recently where it had like a very cliche twist like that near the end, but they made it work. So I was like, okay, maybe some things can pull it off.
If you can make it work, more power to you. But I feel like it's just that's hard. That's a hard job to do, and if you don't pull it off, that's really bad.
Right. So maybe, but hopefully not. Hopefully they have a good reason why everything is weird that we'll actually get to see this season.
God, what else is there? Okay, so so the chick comes in. She's like, I'm with Wings of Magius. She's like, okay, I teleport you out of my labyrinth. And then she's like, all right, now you gotta kill me. And she called Tamaki in there to kill her. Or to, I guess, delete her. Sorry, to delete her. Get it? Because, haha, programmer. Haha, big funny AI. Haha. So she brought in Tamaki to delete her. And it's supposed to automatically send out the other girl. But then she just chose to stay instead. So you're like, that's weird. Wonder why that worked. But whatever. Madoka can explain it. It's fine.
Did I actually skip that part of the episode? Because I don't remember her, like, what happened when Tamaki killed her.
When Tamaki... So Tamaki was sent to delete the Iwasa.
Right.
And then when she got there, Futaba was like, I don't want to leave. And then they were both just there. And then the third chick from the Wings of Magius that I don't think we learned her, comes in, fights the Iwasa. The Iwasa teleports her away. And the Iwasa's like, her paint got on me, so you have to delete me now before, like, she steals, like, me and all my code and all my knowledge. Like, what? And then, so then Sana has to, or Futaba has to delete her. And the whole time I'm sitting there like, okay, I get it's like closure for this character, but if that's what was going to happen, then why even bring in Tamaki aside from just, we want the audience to see this unfold?
I think they wanted to bring her in just to help her get out.
Yeah, considering Futaba did not want to leave, and they needed someone else to come in to basically make it so Futaba could leave. And typically that would have, like, when Tamaki showed up, Futaba would have been, like, kicked out or whatever. But AI did not, like, want to do that to her. Like, because of their relationship, so that's why they had both of them in there for a while.
Maybe. I don't know. This episode, the fight was good. The whole labyrinth was really nice. It was kind of hard to watch the fight because there's just so much going on. There's so many different colors flashing. It was beautiful, gorgeous, so I just couldn't tell what was going on too well.
Yeah.
But, like, some of the storylines with, like, all that was interesting. And I was like, that's, I don't know about that one, Chief. But it's alright. Well, I'm sure we'll see it come out in the next episode or two.
Or people can tell us in the comments how everything makes sense and how we're wrong.
Oh, I'm sure I'm just stupid. That's fine. But...
Exactly. We never claim that we're smart or know stuff. We just like talking about stuff and getting horribly off topic and talking about Gurren Lagann.
Mm-hmm. God bless Gurren Lagann.
Okay.
So, after the fight, Uwasa's like, hey, Futaba, you gotta delete me. Futaba's like, I don't want to do that. And then, somehow a knife gets to Futaba. I don't know if it's like from Futaba or if it's from I herself. I could not say that. That was so weird. I don't know if the knife came from Futaba or I, giving it to Futaba, or Futaba just already had it. But eventually Futaba does the stabby stab and the delete onto the Uwasa named I, who's an AI. That's why it's funny. And then that's pretty much the end of the episode. The AI, the program was like, I'll be with you forever. Kind of points to like the crown thing and the shield. And
okay.
Credits roll. But I think, I don't know. I guess we could discuss a little bit about that. I kind of just like did a really quick. We could just discuss.
Something
we didn't have to worry about getting back to like the actual structure of the episode.
Something that we didn't talk about, though, that I thought was interesting, is the fact that the reason Futaba was the Invisible Girl was because of the wish that she made.
Yeah, I completely forgot to even bring that up. Yes.
This is why I should take notes.
That's why she's invisible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, she's not an Iwasa at all. She just made a wish and wanted to be invisible.
Yeah, Kibe was like, what's your wish for becoming a magical girl? She want to be invisible. And Kibe's like, huh? And she's like, yep. He's like, okay. and then she was invisible. Fucking Madoka, dude.
Look out for what you wish for. You'll get it. And yeah. Yeah, it's definitely adds more into like how interesting a character is. Is like she wants to be alone, but she feels lonely. Is like there's a contradiction there, but that's how a lot of people like her are. It's like they want people, but at the same time they want to push them away, and it just doesn't make sense. So they become even more lonely, and then they want to jump off a radio tower.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was really... I really liked how that's how they wrapped it in. Aside from just, like, being a straight-up rumor, it was, like, rumor with backing, because she was, like, actually invisible to a lot of people. Like, she started becoming invisible, and it was all because, like, her family wasn't accepting her. Her mom married a new guy, and, like, that family wasn't accepting of her, and neither was her mom after, like, she was embarrassing her in front of her new mans and her new family and stuff.
Right.
So she, like, didn't feel as one with, like, their family that they were building, but... I don't know. I thought it was really cool that they looped it into, like, a Kyubey wish. I like when we get to see what the magical girls got to wish for. That was my favorite part about Mommy, was that back in the original series, because I know she was only on screen for 3 episodes, she was still, like, one of my favorite, she was my favorite magical girl, was literally just because Kyubey came to her when she had to become a magical girl because it was life and death. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, so there's definitely a lot of interesting
backstories.
Yeah, I could, like I said, it's definitely interesting to see this like an anthology of just magical girls, how they become magical girls, what they're trying to get away from, or why they're fighting, and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe we'll actually, like, this will lead somewhere story-wise, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much left to go, right? Because we have, what, 3 more episodes?
There's 4 episodes left.
Okay,
4?
so there's 13 total. So, yeah, we might actually get, like, I think the next episode will be, like, what starts the final arc.
Yeah.
And, like, have 4 episodes to, like, wrap everything up, or at least for this season.
Because even if there is another season, you have to imagine we at least find Uwe, right? Like, we at least learn more about her. You have to imagine that it at least leads to that.
Yeah, they have to push the story forward at least to some degree there. Maybe not get the complete answer, but we'll at least, like, see. Maybe she is with the wings of Magius, and, like, the season will end with us finding that out or something.
Yeah. Colin, she's small Cupid.
Oh,
I mean, I could see that too. That is... there's just so many interesting things that it could be, dude. You never know. It's hard.
Right.
But I don't have too much left to say about the episode. I thought it was better than the last one. I thought the fight scene was pretty good. I wish I could have like seen what was happening a little bit better, but at the same time it was the coolest looking labyrinth. So I mean, I'm like, maybe my eyes just shouldn't be gifted sight. Maybe I should just be happy with being able to see all the beautifulness, but I understand the fight, you know. So it's like picket poison, I guess. But
yeah,
that's all I thought. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it's one of the better episodes.
Yeah, a decent episode, though I feel is like it not pushing the story forward made the whole series not as good as it was, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Agree with both of y'all.
Yeah. I think these last 2 episodes could have been condensed into one episode, or like 1.5 episodes, and then start. Like, it could have been 1.5 episodes, and like the last half 9 could have been something leading into like the next arc, and then we have that cliffhanger to look forward to.
Yeah.
Because now we have the cliffhanger of what are they going to do next week, instead of here's part of a story, latch onto it, and you'll come watch next week.
Oh, did you guys see the after credits scene?
I did not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically the other girls like wondering where Tamaki went and seeing if there's another way they could get in. So like they were looking at the other tower that maybe that's a path in. So I don't really. It felt kind of pointless, though. Maybe it'll go somewhere next episode.
I guess time will tell. I'll have to wait and see next week.
Yeah, so you should join us all next week and then tell us why you're wrong about that week too.
Exactly. Yep. So we'll see you guys next week after we're done watching Magia Record episode number 10. This has been our reaction, reviews, thoughts, etc. of episode number 8. Once again, we've been the Speak Anime Podcast. We'll see you guys next week, probably on Wednesday around 10 o'clock Central again, because we can't seem to do it any earlier. Believe it or not, organizing 3 work schedules between regular 9 to 5 and then 2 hourly jobs that are weird hours makes it kind of hard.
Yeah.
So we do what we can to bring y'all the content.
I'm kind of impressed we've actually done this for like 2 months now.
Honestly, same. Like, go us, dude. We can totally do a real podcast and stuff if we wanted to. We're just fucking dumb. But
yeah, it's like.
But with that, on that note, guys, we'll see y'all next week for the 10th week in a row we're not counting who missed episodes 4 and 5.
Ignore that
We're
one.
not counting how we did that as a double week exclusive episode.
Hey, on the channel, there's
See you
separate
guys.
videos, so.
See you guys for the 10th week in a row next week. Thank you guys for watching. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun, I guess. Yeah, sure. Why not? We'll give it a real fun.
Even though you have to put up with me.
Yep. That's always the worst. Have a good night, you guys. Take care. Peace out.